The crowd earlier, they just seemingly came out of nowhere to fill the stands on the eastern side of the ground. We stand by for the haka now. Time they gave us the haka. You might remember Isaac Luke was spending the second week of his suspension and he basically came out of nowhere. There wasn't going to be a haka without Isaac Luke, and that fearsome look that he provides. So the haka completed. The pre-match entertainment comes to its close. Aaron Woods, this young prop forward with a massive job on his hands up against the might of New Zealand. They're very, very strong.
Jason
up front with Blair and Bromwich, Proctor, Taumalolo, and Aaron at 23 has got a major job in front of him. Sean Kenny-Dowd, Josh Papali, and Cameron Smith will kick off. They'll run towards the city end, they'll run towards the southern end, and I'm joined in commentary by two of the immortals, Andrew Johns and Wally Lewis.
Perhaps this really is a fast surface. Joey and I were down there, and I think we're in for a very exciting, entertaining game of football. There'll be plenty of ball thrown around.
Well, Cameron was very adventurous with his kickoff. It went about a metre short of going out on the full, and the Kiwis with first use of the ball 10 metres out from their line, and immediately they head away to their forward spearhead and leader Bromwich. And he'll play the ball inside the 20, coming down the middle corridor. And again, here they go to another one of their feature forwards in Taumalolo, the youngster. The youngster is, in fact, the youngest in the New Zealand side. So Bromwich again a second handle on the opening set. And now Mannering in a test match that obviously means plenty to him. And that's great leg drive by Simon, taking it down to the middle of the ground, and Luke goes to dummy half. Johnson puts a kick in. Cronk took him in mid-air. I thought there might have, it was allowed to go on. He was allowed to go on. The English referee, we saw him, Phil Bentham, I think during this match in Brisbane, and he was very, very good. Now for Corey Parker. And Corey gets it up to the halfway line. And the sound of the whistle gives the penalty to Australia. There's a hand on the ball. That's the ruling from the man in red and black, Phil Bentham.
Yeah, that'll be disappointing for the Kiwis. I'm sure their instructions from the coach would have been, don't give away early penalties. Don't put Australia in prime field position to attack. They're going to be from this restart 30 metres out from the line.
And just pointing out as well that golden point does apply in this game tonight. Golden point for the final. 20 metres out from the Kiwi line. Smith away, Cronk on, Cherry Evans through, and trying to poke his nose through down to the 10-metre line. Nice piece of work there by Australia. Now for Parker to go to Papali, and Papali's met by Proctor. Johnson, he's in there. So is Bromwich. But you can see there's the line. They're close to the southern end. Smith it is. Goes away to Parker. There's the offload. Smith puts a kick in. He's looking for his wingman. Oh! Mansour had a shot. Mansour had a good shot at it, but the bounce just went too high for him. So back for 20 minutes. In touch and goal. In touch and goal. And so the black and white Kiwis with Hiku playing the ball. And now a run for Vatuve. And he brings the crowd to their feet. Manu Vatuve needs one try to equal the test try scoring record for Nigel Vunganar at 19. Another good run from Bromwich. He's really planted himself in the middle of the screen, hasn't he? Here is Mannering to the 30-metre line. So meters are coming fairly easily down the middle corridor for the Kiwis. Now Luke with a tantalising run, then a kick. It's up to Mansour to kill it. Mansour swerves, comes out from the in goal, and I believe got it back. Yes, he did. That's the way the ref ruled. But that was beautifully judged kick from Isaac Luke, and then Mansour, the young rookie, did very, very well. One of 7 rookies in this team tonight. They chose 11 for the squad. They've used 9 and 7 tonight. Here's one of them, Dylan Walker. He and Greg Inglis looking for a premiership, and oh, it's a mistake. It's a penalty.
You pull the leg.
It's a penalty. It's against the marker for, I think, giving it some help with his knee. Adam Blair.
Yep. First thought, first side of this, I think they were lucky here, the Australians. Dylan Walker rose to get to his feet. Looked to me like he fumbled the ball. But it was a great defensive set from the Kiwis. You can see early in this game the forward dominance. Here it is here, Dylan Walker. Well, I don't think he's just dropped that.
It does look that way, but that camera angle doesn't tell us whether there was knee contact from Blair or not. Here's Friday now. Wrestled down just into Kiwi territory. Cronk comes to the blind side. It's gone to young Matautia.
There's an injury worry. Manu Vatuvei's hurt his shoulder. It's the left shoulder.
Here's Aaron Woods with a cutting run. Chopping through to the 20-metre line. Play on the broadcast side. As it goes away to Parker, and he sweeps it on to Cherry Evans. Now it's with Greg Bird. And Bird will play the ball. That's the 10-metre line. And here goes Cameron from dummy half to Corey Parker. Parker, does he get the ball down?
Hold up, boys.
It's held up in goal.
10 metres out.
Tremendous tackle there from Isaac Luke.
Just there.
Great technique to wrap the ball up. Great show of strength there from Isaac Luke to hold Corey Parker up.
And it was on the last tackle as well. There's a changeover. I'm sure there's plenty of Kiwis breathing a little bit easier, but boy, the big fella, he did appear to be in severe trouble with that shoulder.
Crowd really getting involved in this game. Manu gets involved. Here's Isaac who gets involved. Here's Isaac. Surprisingly, Stephen Kearney chose to give Thomas Luluai many more minutes in the match they played last weekend than Isaac Luke. For what reason, I'm not quite sure, but don't be surprised if Isaac, from a personal point of view, tells the coach in no uncertain terms why he might be wrong. Taumalolo, the young cowboy, and now Johnson kicking very, very high, and Andrews told you about the wind. And that's a great chase, and the tackle on Greg Inglis was made by Hiku, the fullback. Tremendous run. Came from behind Johnson, onside, and put this fellow down, Greg Inglis. So Greg now 20 metres out from his own line. Pictures coming from television in New Zealand. Cherry Evans losing it. Cameron Smith cleans it up. Papali. So we thank the television people here in New Zealand for the pictures you're watching. Sky New Zealand, in fact, to give them their proper title. Cooper Cronk kicking down deep to Hiku, who just made that fabulous run. And he'll play the ball on the halfway line quickly. Play the ball on the halfway line quickly. Foran knows that. Goes away to Vatuve. And Manu again, the crowd show their pleasure with the big frame thrusting at Australian defenders. Now Bromwich shovels it. Nightingale, on it goes. Johnson, 30 metres away from the Australian line. The tacklers Jennings and Cherry Evans holding down as long as they could. Nightingale again with an offload. Then to Luke, and now to Foran, and Foran has taken play inside the 20-metre line. Played back for Isaac, and to the right side for Johnson. Now to Proctor, over to Faray. Very neat right foot step. 12 metres out from the line. Smothered down by Jennings. Passed by Proctor. Now with Johnson. Here goes the kick. Down it comes, and Walker's missed it. It's gone dead. And it's going to be a line dropout. It's a line dropout.
So that set at 62 is full power and the offload. Really worrying the Australian team. To say the dominance around the middle, the go forward for the Kiwis.
Yeah, they're
Jesse
making
Bromwich
plenty of territory. There's the jump for the ball. Unfortunately, wasn't able to grab hold of it, Walker, but it was a perfectly placed kick. And we remind you once again about the weather conditions here in Wellington. The breeze out in the middle of the paddock. Andrew and I were out there before. It's not quite a gale, but it's certainly making life uncomfortable for whoever is standing underneath a high ball tonight, which try to make sure that this is the correct decision. The Australians protesting, saying that there was no contact made. The ball simply bounced over the line.
He's changed it.
Oh, that is a big pressure release for the Kangaroos.
And see, I can't see anything wrong with an investigation like that to get it right.
With a match of such importance.
Exactly right. So this is Papali who plays the ball. Now for Woods. And this is a run of about 15 metres for the young West Tigers front row forward. Smith turning it back in for Parker. And three of the New Zealanders go in. They would have done their homework on Corey Parker well before tonight, but you've got to really tackle him in numbers. Here's Cherry Evans. He's gone inside the 30. He broke the tackle. 25 out. And eventually they back slam Cherry Evans into the ground. That might have stung him a little bit too. He looked at Mannering. Not with a pleasant look. And here they come wide. Out to Dylan Walker. Had Natalia outside him. Played inside the 10. Down to Cronk. Cronk goes up with the kick. And up goes the... Oh, Australia's got the ball. Jennings. I'm just waiting to see what the referee says here. Michael Jennings, I believe, has put the ball down off the kick from Cronk. A sea of arms. Okay. And the Kiwis were the most prominent. And he has a try. But he's gone upstairs for an investigation.
Yeah, great kick from Cooper Crock. In these conditions, the windy conditions, he's put that kick inch perfect. He's checking the onside. Yeah, they're all onside. And I believe... Is it Sean Johnson who competes? See there, that's the kick now in vogue. They'll land the ball on the halfback. Now it's Farah who goes up and knocks the ball backwards into Michael Jennings' hands, and he goes over. It's a trend now to bring those kicks down where the halfback defends, not kicking to the winger. Michael Jennings gets the ball, and that's a try.
He couldn't have been in a better place. I don't think he meant to be there, but he certainly was in the right ground. There's no doubt about that.
Obviously just checking to see whether he was onside in effect, which he was. I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever with that. But the old saying, a kick is only as good as its chasers. And Jennings could not have been in better position. Two Kiwis competing for the ball. No doubt with the grounding of the footy either.
Well, it's all black and white what we're looking at. And I think they'll struggle to turn this down. Michael Jennings. We've gone past the onside view.
I don't think the black and white will favour the black and white.
So we stand by for a decision on this Sydney Roosters athlete. And has he got the first points of the Four Nations final? The last game of rugby league for the year. He's awarded the try. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. So Cameron Smith placing the ball for the conversion of the try scored by Michael Jennings at the 11th minute of the game. Play has gone from one end to the other. There's been some great forward surges. The big men have dominated the central corridor with good runs. But now Cameron to convert the try scored by Michael Jennings, and that he does down at the southern end of this ground, Westpac Stadium in Wellington. As fast as they come, and Cronk's kick was inch perfect off black and white chest, and then Jennings picks up the crumbs and dives on it for 4 points. Trust you're enjoying our telecast coming to you on the 9 Network. Host broadcaster sending pictures around the world. Sky New Zealand, but you people back in Australia watching this final, thank you for being with us right through the year. As a matter of fact, you've been fabulous this year with your numbers. Here's Aaron Woods just inside the 30-metre line. Playing it back to the skipper. Now for Bird. Puts a little stutter into his approach to the defence line. Plays it on the 40. Smith works the blind. Jennings is with the ball. So Michael with a try beside his name. And now for Corey Parker. Bouncing away from the tackle. Proctor has a second go, and eventually, with the help of Farray, they put him down. Smith puts a grubber kick in behind Nightingale, and he finds the line.
Great set of 6 there from the Australians, channeling down their left-hand side of the field. What they're doing there, they're targeting Sean Johnson in the defensive line. Saw Greg Bird early in the tackle camp, bit of footwork got at Sean Johnson, and they channeled the play all the way down that side of the field.
And also running a bit at Farray as well. When the ball was shifted to this, the closest side of the field to us, Joey, there are a couple of very showed his vast experience in being able to do it. Showed his vast experience in being able to do it. But that is as good a set of 6 as you get after a restart.
Here's Peta Hiku, just outside the 20-metre line. He's a part of the New Zealand spine, which is now quite outstanding, isn't it? Isaac Luke in 9, Johnson 7. And of course Foran in 6 and Hiku in 1. That's the reason I'm fairly confident in suggesting that New Zealand have been quite good, particularly in this tournament. In fact, their better performances have been in tournament football rather than one-off test matches. 4 and then along the line. Johnson going very, very high. Nobody kicks it as high as Johnson. And Inglis did magnificently under that ball. Sean Johnson, the number 7. Wonderful player. Here is Mansour, this confident young winger from Penrith.
Yeah, he's got star attraction about him, hasn't he, Sean Johnson?
Greg Bird trying to break through. In fact, he really put a dent in the New Zealand defenders. And tackle dubious.
Oh boy, Cooper Cronk, he's been left on the ground, absolutely smashed from behind Jason Taumalolo.
Woods 20 metres out, a little bit more than that. Smith looked to the left, went to the right. Cronk kicks. Inglis is chasing, and Hiku flies high and brings it down. So Johnson's the dummy half. Nightingale is with the ball. And that's the 10-metre line. New Zealand's end of the ground. Vatuvei met quite early there by Walker, and Thaiday Kenny Dow gets it to the 30-metre line. Parker there with Thaiday and Woods. Isaac Luke from dummy half. And I think the New Zealanders thought the markers weren't square. They groaned their disapproval. Johnson again. He's peppering Greg Inglis with this kick. But Inglis has been safe. In fact, he's been wonderful on a couple of occasions under that high swirling ball from Johnson. Ball being played then by Matautia. Here's Cherry Evans along the halfway line out to Jennings. Jennings got the ball away to Mansour. Mansour ankle tap quickly to his feet. Eventually put down 18 metres out from the line. Played to Cherry Evans. Now to Bird. Bird away. Smith on. Now it's with Parker. Parker 10 metres out from the New Zealand line. Australia leading 6-0 in this game. Cherry Evans pushing it out to Bird. Bird fancied his chances. Plays the ball quickly. Cherry Evans ran into a brick wall. Got the ball away to Cooper Cronk. He kicks foreign into the backfield or in behind the Australian defence line. Is eventually tackled just outside the 20 by David Clemmer, who's out there in number 20 now.
And a penalty coming to the Kiwis. That will be a massive relief for the black and white. They've been struggling the last couple of times that they've carried the ball away from their own line. They've made around about 30, maybe 35 metres tops. The Aussies are making 50 to 60 every time they cart it. That was a very important ankle tap on that occasion from Nightingale. He knew he was in a little bit of trouble there. Had he not made contact, it was 4 points on the board for the Kangaroos.
So Taumalolo coming off. Greg Eastwood going into the game. The Kiwis taking their time.
It's their first penalty of the night, the Kiwis. This is where teams like to attack, get their set structures in play. I'm sure they'll look to get to their right side and get a player like Kevin Proctor. Try to get him one-on-one with Daly Cherry Evans.
Mannering then to the 40-metre line. Play down the Australian end, guarding the northern end of Westpac. Greg Eastwood just came into the game. Now for Bromwich. Spinning and reeling, just a couple of Clemmer. Now Luke, he goes second man. Now Luke, he goes second man. Foreman goes on. Hiku joins in. Well read by Dylan Walker. Mannering a dummy half. Four in the middle of the ground. Eastwood goes along. Johnson gets it out. Came off the hand of Jennings, I fancy. Be a knock-on against Australia. And it will give New Zealand a great opportunity. The scrum will go down 15 out in the middle.
A great defensive read there from Michael Jennings. They had a huge overlap there, the Kiwis. A great pass here from Johnson that got Isaac Luke on the outside. But Michael Jennings saw the threat and was very aggressive with his defence.
Cordner about to come into the game, as you saw on that picture seconds ago. But here's a good chance for the black and whites in front of a very healthy crowd. Late start here, but they're enjoying every moment of it. And so Luke at halfback away to Johnson and then to Eastwood. And Eastwood is 5 metres out from the line. So Australia have got a hell of a job in front of them here with Luke getting a fortunate bounce, a ricochet really. He plays the ball 5 or 6 metres out from the line. Penalty goes to New Zealand. Greg Bird goes in. Greg Bird goes in. So we come down to the mandatory push and shove.
Time off. Okay, walk away. Just walk, just walk.
A break in play, I think the Australians won't be too concerned about. You provide them with a little bit of extra time to get a breather. Cherry Evans hanging on just a little bit too long. Wasn't the knee used, DJ? Right.
quite comical.
What a punch to aim.
Even the referee's laughing.
Penalty's the first one. High tackle. It's got the goal line, yep.
So off the back of a penalty, play went down to this end of the ground. Then the knock on by Jennings. Then the scrum. So now this is their third consecutive use of the football. And Proctor upended about 15 away from the line. Out in front of Foran onto Mannering. The captain to play the ball. Tackled by Thaiday. Foran, Blair, short, lovely ball. Is the ball carrier. Park is the ball carrier. Parker was in the tackle, but it was Cameron Smith that made the tackle, made the good tackle down low. Eastwood with the ball now. Australia guarding their line. Third set in a row for New Zealand. Blair again with that pass. Foran on. Kenny Dowell is there. Thaidays tried to wrap the ball up. He got it away to Hiku. Hiku dancing along the 10-metre line to the middle of the ground. It's not over yet. Not for the Kiwis. Not this opportunity. Foran. And he puts a kick in, and Inglis it is that cleans it up eventually. So Walker, you'll want to find the ground. So they survived that. Australia only just. Matautia. And here they are inside the 10, halfway through their tackle count. Greg Bird did well. Proctor has got him. So is Luke. Bird's not happy. Clemmer now. A gritty run by the youngster from Canterbury. David Clemmer. Cronk then. Let's get out of here. It's too dangerous. On the run, Hiku from Manly. And picked off by Clemmer.
What a hit. Get that in here.
Foran for Vatuvei. And another big hit by Bird and Thaiday. Vatuvei many times gets up smiling, I can assure you. He didn't get up smiling that time. Now to Powell. Good run. The crowd loved it. Dylan Walker finished up on the backside. Now Kenny Dowell fending away from Cronk. Runs inside the 30. Inside the 20. Picked up from behind in a good tackle, Boyd Cordner. Now it's come away. Johnson away. Now it's gone on from far away to Nightingale. He becomes the leading try scorer in the tournament. Nightingale scores for New Zealand. It is 6-4 now.
Yeah, beautiful play there from the Kiwis. It started by Kenny Dowell, run out of dummy half, some great footwork. Gets into the backfield, and some really smart play here from Sean Johnson. He sees there's room on the outside. He doesn't overplay his hand. He throws the ball early to his centre, Dean Farah, who then releases the winger there, Jason Nightingale, to go over in the corner. You see here, Kenny Dowell gets the ball, big left foot step, goes through, defend. On the Harvey Norman replay, he gets tackled. And watch Sean Johnson. He gets the ball, demands the ball off Kieran Foran. And have a look how early he gives the ball to his centre. Gives him time to read the play, draw and pass, and Nightingale over in the corner.
So the Kiwis are happy. They've come in big numbers. They didn't come looking for a defeat. Just for a moment or two there early on, though, Australia took them out of the event with that try by Jennings, but now Nightingale has responded. Quick play the balls. And then well read by this fellow Johnson. He knew it had to go wide quickly. The overlap was there on the right. Farah knew that. He knew his wingman had the space. Good service for Nightingale, who scores his 5th try in the tournament. Johnson near enough to the touchline, on its way. The touchies, they like it. It's a beautiful kick by Sean Johnson. levelling the scoreboard.
Oh, it's a tremendous kick, considering the wind in the stadium. While we were out in the ground before the game, it's hard to really realise where the wind's coming from. It's really swirling in here.
Yeah, it seems to be coming from every corner. It's about every stat on the sheet. Unfortunately, one of those is the missed tackles as well. One of those was responsible. They've missed 9 tackles to the Kiwis 4. One of those, of course, was responsible for that break right up the middle of the ruck. Coach Tim Sheens will be insisting his players not offer any more opportunities to the Kiwis. Ground is very hard to make out there this evening.
Here's Tapau. Back to the 20-metre line, a vigorous run. Proctor now. Bird low, Friday over the top. Now for Eastwood. Here's Bromwich. Eastwood. Luke then just popping it up for Mannering. They've made very good metres here, New Zealand. That's 5. And for Johnson to go to the skies again. Inglis going over fast. Oh, Mansour reached out and there was just nothing there.
Well, Joey, the wind inside this stadium makes it very difficult to stand under any football. A high one that's coming down. That one was the perfect kick. It was the floater.
Yeah, the floating bomb in these conditions, near impossible to catch that ball. Josh Mansour, they got his feet planted on the ground with those floating bombs. You've got to keep on your toes and keep your feet moving. See, he plants his feet there, and then late the ball drifts away. And you're under those floating bombs or torpedo bombs, you have to keep your feet moving on the ground. That time he planted his feet and was reaching for the ball.
First man beside him after the mistake was none other. Inglis knew it was marked urgent. I can assure you. He knew it was going to be Mansour's ball. There's Tapau again. Inspirational couple of runs by the West Tiger. 20 metres out from the line now, played by Bromwich. Here's Isaac. Collared there by Clemmer. Johnson. Tapau. Short into Bromwich. And Bromwich is about 8 metres out from the line. Here goes the roar for the Kiwis. And here's Foran. Foran breaking a tackle. Held while arched over the line. It's a penalty though. There's a high tackle.
What would you do in this situation, Wally?
I'd keep on the attack, Joey. They just seem to have gained some inspiration from their own play. They seem to be working to the centre of the field a little bit more and looking for which side's weakest.
6-all then. Nightingale at the 24th minute. Jennings at the 11th. And I think they're going to take the 2.
Yeah.
There was a real committee meeting out there, and they're going to take a shot. We'll take a break and come back. So Sam Thaiday coming from the field, and Johnson will take the 2. Practically right in front for a man that just kicked a conversion from the sideline. It proves no problem. Penalties 3-2 in favour of New Zealand. Lewis Brown will deputise for Isaac Luke, and he's been very clever in this tournament, Lewis Brown. So 8-6 in favour of New Zealand now.
I'm sure we'll see the Kiwis try and wrap the ball one way, put themselves in a good field position here. The kick on their 5th tackle is very important. They've been struggling a little bit for territory.
I tell you who hasn't been struggling is Tapau. I think I used the word inspirational. A couple of his runs since he's come on. They really have made you sit up and take notice. Greg Eastwood. He always seems hard to stop, doesn't he, Greg Eastwood? Isaac Luke. Deeper into the first half, he starts to run. That's Harris, who's out there in 17. So Luke again for Johnson. He kicks again high down towards Mansour, but Inglis is under it this time. Mansour then ready for this run from inside his 20-metre line. But Johnson is peppering with this high kick, which is proving to be dynamic for the New Zealanders. Clemmer. Now Cronk plugging it out. It's gone out by about 5 metres.
That's an indication of the breeze that's blowing in here. It's very hard to predict which direction it's following.
He got his angles wrong there, Cooper Cronk. As he kicks the ball, his chest is pretty much facing towards the sideline. Cooper, the way he kicks, very much like an AFL player, kicks very front on and through the ball. That time, chest and shoulders were pointing towards the sideline. He's got his angles wrong. You know, this is probably an awkward place to play for as a kicker because you're playing on an oval ground. Sometimes your angles can be a bit skew-if. And
Joey, it's very difficult to predict how close the touchline is on occasions, being an oval stadium such as the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The first games that were played there, very difficult for the kickers to be able to judge it correctly.
Eastwood casting a shoe. And now for Harris. Completions. Was the perfect game for New Zealand, 14 from 14, and Australia 10 from 11. So it's been a game pretty much free of error. But they have really come here to play, the New Zealanders. There's no doubt about that. Johnson is calling the tune. Getting some wonderful support from the Bromwiches and the Tapaus. Mannering's been good. Hicko at the back. Foran quite brilliant. That's an awful pass. Mannering a tap on. Foran a little toe poke. And then made dead by Inglis.
Tremendous play. Kieran Foran. Absolutely tremendous play. Ball hits the ground. He doesn't panic. He gets the ball batted back from his captain, Simon Mannering. And then the beautiful technique and touch from Kieran Foran. Look at this. The ball goes to the ground. He gets batted back from his captain. Just angles the ball through and beautiful touch. Kicks the ball off the outside of his foot. That's tremendous play.
His ability to reassess the situation is fantastic. That's given the Kiwis a golden opportunity. Of course, they're denying the Kangaroos a little bit of time and space, but also making them feel the heat.
Mentioning some forwards. Keep your eye on Tohu Harris in jersey 17. His footwork at the line, the late footwork, is really worrying the Australians. It's Tapau. Wow. Look at this.
Tapau. He just hit Greg Bird. Bird's a tough man. He went rocking back, shaking his head. Now Harris, the man that Andrew was talking about. There's Greg. He went in and Tapau hit him with everything while carrying the ball. Bird's okay. I thought for a moment he might have been concussed. Luke, Foran, Mannering. Now there's 7 away. 8-6 they lead, New Zealand. Luke and Tapau able to unload. Breaks the tackle of Smith. And Luke almost did the same. He'll play the ball middle of the ground, 10 metres out, 5 tackles. And now for Johnson. And Johnson away from one. Steps another. Steps another. Steps another. Throws a big ball. Vatuvei. That's a try for Manu. Manu Vatuvei. He has scored after a freakish performance by Sean Johnson.
try. Check. Obstruction in there. Looks okay, I think.
That is unbelievable.
Oh, how good is it to watch Sean Johnson? The footwork and the speed, the pirouette, and then the 30-metre rocket pass. What a superstar.
Impossible to predict what he's going to do when he gets the ball, Joey. I think early in his career he simply felt like that he needed to pass the ball on, wait a little while, be very patient, but now he knows that every time he runs with the football, players defending against him don't feel that comfortable. The big fella, well, I think you can see why it's so tough to tackle him.
Well, look at this, big right foot step. Watch the pirouette, and here he goes and dips again, and then the hit and spin here. Look at this. Wow. That's a superstar.
Well, he's beaten four of the best defenders in the game.
And then that.
And look at Manu. Great pick-up by Manu.
And that is equaling Nigel Vangenaar's Test try-scoring record. So Vatuvei. Oh. Has he got some fingers on it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be okay. A big left hand. I think he still had some fingers on it, and with downward pressure. And there's the try given by the English referee to Manu. So Johnson, who created that fabulous try for the record-equaling performance from Vatuvei, now from the touchline to convert and make it 14-6. Sean Johnson, and it is going as straight as an arrow. Johnson pushes it out, 14-6. This crowd really on their feet. They're excited. The body language is great from their team. And I think they've got a smell of victory in the nostrils already off the back of this kid.
I remember seeing him play in the under-20s several years ago. The first time I seen him play, he laid on about 3 or 4 individual tries, chip and chase, and you could just tell he just had that something extra, you know, that real star quality about him. And he lights up this stadium. How good is he?
When he takes off, he's as quick as any player in the game, probably any player ever in the game.
He's made the translation. He's made the translation with great effect to become one of the outstanding number 7s in the game. And here's the ball finishing up with 4, and Tupou is standing there belligerently asking what the hell happened there. So Bentham has now decided to pack a scrum down on the New Zealand 20-metre line.
The Kiwis actually were asking the referee if he could go to the video. They're saying that it was knocked out by an Australian player, but it wasn't a knock on. The replay will be able to help us out with that. The ball was thrown backwards, and I think there may be a nose or two growing a foot longer after that little white lie.
So Australia with a chance here. Oh, a little juggle, just as I uttered the words, by Dylan Walker. But they are pressing. They're 12 metres out. That's Jackson on in 19. At his day, oh, he's lost the ball. Referee ordering a scrum. The Australians are appealing.
Look at the Kiwis.
It's fallen on deaf ears, though. Bentham giving the scrum feed to New Zealand. And Josh Jackson, who I was about to say made his test debut at Wollongong last weekend. And it's got plenty of help with more than one man in the tackle. That's what he's on about now.
Fair right to protest there, didn't he?
Well, he wasn't trying to unload. Carlton mid one-day international. Vatuvei again. Game 2, Australia versus South Africa, live from Perth tomorrow 1:30 in New South and 12:30 in Queensland. Australia won last night, and the television figures across Australia to that match were nothing short of superb. I think it was up around 1 million. So that belies some of the people that think the one-day matches don't carry that much interest. There was plenty of interest last night. Australia winning that one. Eastwood foreign back. Hiku comes into his back line. 5 or 6 metres on Australia's side of halfway. 5 tackles gone against the Kiwis. Foreign. He has steadied the ship, hasn't he, Kieran? This fellow here, he though is the genius. Here's Foreign running off one of his kicks. Eastwood up the middle, spirals around, gets it back to Brown. Brown goes to ground. Ball comes down to Australia. My goodness, they are electrifying.
Yeah, he tipped it out the back door, hoping it was going to be one of his Kiwi teammates supporting him on that occasion. Brown, fortunately for the Australians, it went into a green and gold jersey.
Well, there's no doubt about it. If you've got a good 6 and a good 7, you're halfway there, aren't you? And New Zealand, right at this moment, have got just that. Wonderful players. Smith then to Cherry Evans. He's not going anywhere. Proctor puts him down. A little bit slow to get up, Cherry Evans. And now for Cronk. And he kicks over to the area where he put it out on the full easily. Now, this will be interesting, the restart. Referee checking with his touch judge.
Time off. We've got a New Zealand scrum, but we're just checking it.
Yeah, he's just checking, but he fancies that it's a New Zealand scrum feed.
Just knock-ons. Yeah, it was our last.
There was a hand there, I think, from one of the Australians in the final wash-up, Matautia. I thought it might have come off Kenny Dowell there, but I think Matautia has got fingers to it while playing at the ball. I don't know that Kenny Dowell could be deemed. He looks to be backing away from. There's a little touch there. That's the reason for the delay. He just wants to make sure that he's got the right team feeding the ball. Foreign's got no darts. He's got the ball under his right wing. Vardave at the 35th minute. Nightingale the 24th. Australia got away to a fly. It's been all New Zealand. It's been all New Zealand as we make our approach to half-time. This is Tohu Harris.
We're going to give 2 plays before the break.
Comments tonight from Wally Lewis and Andrew Johns. And Tapau, brilliant. Eastwood, he's been strong. You wouldn't expect anything less from him, though. Here's Foreign, a little kick down the ground, a bit of work for Greg Inglis. And there's the siren indicating half-time. Well, what a wonderful half it has turned out to be. I think I use the expression almost the perfect half of football for them. The New Zealanders trailed 6-0. New Zealand 14-6 at the break. Greg Inglis, he's been doing plenty of defensive work under the high ball. Are we going to see the great man given a chance at the other end of the park with his own brand of attack? Simon Mannering, 40 test matches tonight, joining some of the great New Zealanders to play test level football. Tapau, that's him on camera. Hasn't he been good? Well, in fact, there's been plenty of them very good. But Simon Mannering joins people like Ruben Wiki and Stacey Jones, Stephen Kearney. Greg Bird with a little shiner there on the left eye. Second half about to get underway. There was no curtain raiser to this game, and that crowd really, it enlarged so quickly as they came from everywhere to bolster the attendance here at Westpac tonight. very much New Zealand calling the shots here, leading 14-6 after they trailed 6-0. At the we go into the second half. Thank you for joining us. Pictures coming to you from Sky TV New Zealand, and Andrew Johns and Wally Lewis in commentary with me tonight. Is Aaron Woods? Have the Kangaroos got something? The body language is telling us that the New Zealand forwards are rolling over the top of them.
High tackle.
They've got to find something. This tackle has crept up, and it's a penalty to Australia. Lewis Brown, the offender. Now, Statsman, I'm told, celebrating his 50th birthday this weekend, David Middleton. So from all of us in the commentary team and the football team, happy 5-0. I thought you celebrated it quite some years ago, but anyway. Played by Jennings, and now it's gone away to Jackson. Jackson 25 metres out from the New Zealand line. Woods running a little decoy, then Cooper, and here's Cherry Evans in and swerving and giving it, and Matautia, he goes in to score, the 18-year-old, youngest player ever to play Test football for Australia. Cherry Evans is down, he's not 100%. But he's run through a gap and given the ball to Matautia.
And the referee just blowing time off for the video referee to go back and have a look. The Kiwis were protesting obstruction, the shepherd play. The Kangaroos, they executed that extremely well though. Shifting the ball wide. Just put the Kiwis on the back foot. Have a look at that. They're just shuffling backwards, sideways. There's no forward motion.
We'll have to look at the front on there.
Yep.
Where the Daly Cherry Evans caught the ball and was behind the player in jersey 19 and Josh Jackson. That time they used Greg Inglis as the decoy, and they drew Sean Kenny-Dowell out of the line. Now this will show it here. You see Jackson goes through on the decoy. If Daly Cherry Evans catches the ball and he's behind him, that's no try.
No try.
That's no try. Even though a player isn't impeded, you can't catch a ball behind a decoy like that and run behind your own decoy.
Yeah, Joey, I think both sides, they'd say that they'd, if they had it while they were in possession, they'd call that to be a try, but the rules of the game are such that that's been put on under effect a number of occasions. Big call coming up.
I just thought there might have been a slight chance that Kieran changed his mind, and there's the try. It's been semaphore. So Australia striking back. 14 plays 10.
With a great range of auto offers on now, Holden is your automatic choice. But you'd better be quick. These offers must end November 30. Hurry and choose a sporty Commodore sedan or ute. You'll get MyLink technology, auto park assist and free auto. That's on all sports sedans and utes. Plus you'll get a 5-year warranty across the entire Holden range. For incredible auto savings, see your Holden dealer today. With offers this good, Holden is your automatic choice. But it must end November 30.
So 42-metre kick on that acute angle for Cameron Smith. Sean Johnson kicked one from out there just earlier tonight, nailing the Nightingale try into a converted try. So here is Cameron. From way out there, it's looking okay. No, yes, it's there. So Australia straight back into gear. 14-6 down at half-time, back to 14-12, and here it is again. Just watch for it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if Kieran Foran wasn't impeded. You cannot catch the ball behind or inside a decoy runner and run around the decoy.
So the Kiwis restarting, and here's Papali. So 15 away from their own line. Matautia, the try scorer. And This is Dylan Walker using that speed to get away from dummy half with a little dummy half cert to the 30-metre line. Aaron Wood, 30-metre line. Aaron Wood's giving it back then for Greg Bird, and Bird has got 3 defenders upon him, including Eastwood, Tapau and Proctor. Now Woods rolls it up over the halfway line. Now for Cameron Smith. For Greg Inglis, and he said, right here, get some of this medicine, India. You gave it to me in the first. Oh, Manu! He puts it down, but in an onside position is Nightingale.
That is huge.
So now Vatave, he's been suspect under the high ball in good conditions. So Greg, I'm sure, will go back and revisit that again very shortly.
I think Vatave lost it when it got past the clouds.
Played then by Nightingale. Here is Tapau, just outside the 20-metre line. Well, that's the medicine that Australia needed. And we've got an injury here to Martin Tapau. There was a strong thought that Australia had to be the next team to score, and they were, as controversial as it may be, and you've heard what Andrew has had to say. I just thought that Foran might have actually made up his mind to drop off and go for the man with the football. But that's just simply a matter of debate. Australia's been given the try, and they're back to 14-12. That's what really matters. And the concern is now for Martin Tapau. Inglis, the man that reefed that ball up, way up into the heavens. And you saw what Johnson did in the first half, so Inglis has now responded. Just while I've got a moment, I just got some news passed on to me about a very, very good friend of mine and wonderful journalist and author, Ian Heads. And I believe Heads is in hospital. I hope he's watching this. Not necessarily from hospital, but if you are watching, then I think we made our first international tour together here in New Zealand in '71. So I'm thinking of you, Headsy, but we've got an indication that Martin Tapau might be coming off here.
And he's been a powerful runner for the Kiwis. Certainly was in the first 40 minutes of play. Made life, or terrorised the Australian defence.
I honestly thought that he swung the pendulum around. He just had these wonderful inspirational runs. Now let's have a look at this. He might fall awkwardly here on Cameron, does he? No. I don't think there's certainly no foul play involved. We'll take a break anyway. We'll come back and check on Martin Tapau when we come back. Well, the concern for Tapau, now we find the Jordan frame has been taken out. Meantime, one of the trainers has been cradling the neck area since the young man appealed for help.
It's hard to see how it would have occurred. Didn't appear as though the neck was twisted in any way, shape or form by a defender. Didn't appear to make solid contact with the ground and whiplash his neck. Certainly has been a stop-start opening to the second 40-minute period.
Well, that's the try that was given. Andrew is adamant it's no try. Foran there. I still think there's a chance that he dropped off Jackson and followed the ball. In other words, was there an impediment? We'll take another break and we'll come back here to this game at Westpac in just a moment.
Harvey Norman introduces the Westinghouse 90cm cooking range, a true entertainer's oven, setting a benchmark with 125 litres oven capacity, enough room for 4 roasts, delivering fast heat-up times and even heat distribution with twin fans, a split grill that lets you use both grill elements or just one side, easy to clean, seamless cavity design, family-safe, cool touch door, all in a stunning design. Westinghouse, proudly designed and manufactured in Australia for Australian homes. See the range now at Harvey Norman.
So back at Wellington, you're watching the Four Nations final. This is the 4th Four Nations. Martin Tapau being placed in this Jordan frame. Kiwis still celebrating the fact that they are in front by 2 after being in front by 8 at the halftime break. They won this tournament back in 2010. I was about to say this is the 4th time the Four Nations has been played. And Australia has won 2 of the 3 decided. New Zealand winning it back in 2010, you might remember. So a significant delay, but it's imperative that this work is being carried out is done with ample time. He's popular, isn't he? Manu. They love him here. Equalled Nigel Wangara's Test try-scoring record here in the first half. Yeah, hard enough to read when it's the right way up. So Tapau being cradled off, and he's just put the hand up. A message therein, I'm fairly certain.
I can't get over that. That is a huge loss for New Zealand. He has been one of their most inspirational players in the first 40-minute period.
Possession up to this point in time, 57% New Zealand. Missed tackles, 18 Australia. 18 missed tackles against 6. As this ball is kicked down the ground to Greg Inglis. And so Australia trailing by 2 very early in the second half. In fact, just 5 minutes gone. And Dylan Walker over on the far side of the ground. And Greg Inglis getting it away for Josh Jackson there. And a knock on as, I beg your pardon, 6 more has been appealed by the Australians. Bird shoveling it down for Smith to come away now for Woods. And Aaron will be asked to play the ball. And it won't surprise if there's another skyscraper coming. That's a good run there by Cordner. Driving strong with the legs. Play back for Cameron. Now it's gone on to Cronk. He kicks out wide towards Matalia. Beautiful take by Barbervay. He might have put one down 5 minutes ago, but not that time. It was brilliant.
Yeah, good stuff, Manu. I love him.
Hiku now inside the 30-metre line. Australia putting plenty of defenders in there, led by Aaron Woods. Now for Bromwich, looking to thrust it away, but opting not to eventually. Tackled by Bird. Brown as the dummy half. Harris as the runner. And he's out to the 40-metre line down the 12. And Johnson got a kick. 12. And Johnson got a kick in. It was a ricochet off a charge down. It's been battered down, picked up by Mansour. That's play on. He beats one. He comes back and runs into the traffic zone. And he'll play the ball on the 40-metre line. So penalty now goes to Australia. It's against the New Zealand defender for having a second effort.
Pull down on the shirt.
And that second effort wasn't well advised either. Not a good idea to be providing the Australians with a prime opportunity to be able to go on the attack. The charge down, very well executed on that occasion by Boyd Cordner. That's what stopped the Kiwis from getting deep inside the Australian territory. But everything seems to be going Australia's way early in the second half.
Cordner now. So now Papali, a run for him. Just on a little angle back in towards the ruck, the centre of the ruck. Now Smith on for Cronk, out for Cherry Evans, right foot. And now he'll play the ball 20 metres out from the New Zealand line. Smith with a big dummy. And then he runs back into the clutches of Harris and Bromwich. Australia there. There's the try line. Just a couple of metres away now. Cronk puts a grubber kick in. Vardave goes back, cleans it up, gets back into the field of play. Downloads it to Kenny Dow. He loses it. And the Kiwis have got the ball as a knock-on there. And in the field of play, he's going to put a scrum down. And he's giving the feed, I think, to New Zealand.
One-on-one strip, and the ball went forward after it was stripped from Kenny Dow's hand. What was happening there with the offloads in their try line? Is it Greg Bird who raked the ball out?
Andrew, I think that mass stoppage in play has really taken a little bit of wind out of sails from both teams. Very important that some of the senior players remind their teammates what the game plan is and stick to it as rigidly as possible.
Played then by Harris. Here is Hiku. And he's met there by Papali and Smith together with Woods. Play just inside the 30-metre line. And Greg Eastwood it is that rolls it up towards the 40-metre line. And then from Brown he goes on to Mannering. Mannering through the tackle of Bird, got it back to Brown, given to Bromwich, now to Johnson. He puts it over the top to Proctor, now to Faray, and Faray is pulled down just outside the 30-metre line, mainly by Jackson. Here it is with Johnson, and he kicks high, but not as high as before, and Inglis is with the ball.
A lot of pressure on Johnson after he kicks the ball.
I think that had it been an NRL game, that would have been a definite penalty. He was taken well after he kicked the ball and just trying to make life a little bit of...
Just a little bit, Wally. Just a little bit, Wally. Hit him 2-3 seconds after he kicked the ball.
So here's Aaron Woods now. And again, very good effort. Out to the 30-metre line. Cameron to go away to the Birdman. This tournament, of course, played under the international rules, including the fact that there's only one referee. And that has found touch. And it's found touch just outside the 20-metre line. Wow.
He's appealing for 40-20 here.
Yeah, he's racing up.
I don't think it's gone inside the 20.
It's a little bit of trouble. The Australian second rower.
It's inside the 40. Let's see where it crosses. No, it's crossed outside the 20.
I was just looking at Greg Bird on that occasion. He's had 2 or 3 occasions tonight where he's been struggling to get back onto his feet. One leading into the half-time break. Seems to be having some rib or chest injury problems.
Just on that subject of one referee, have you guys got a thought on that? I mean, it seemingly has worked comfortably and successfully the old way. I've had a few emails on that very subject, people asking why do we need 2 when one seems to get the job done satisfactorily. The effort really, or the protection physically of one referee. But these fellows through this tournament seemingly have handled it with comfort. Play by Hiku now on the halfway line. So from Brown, it's gone to Taumalolo.
He's a player this young.
Now for Johnson. Short into Proctor. And he'll play the ball on the 30-metre line. So Brown again pushing on for Johnson. He kicks, Foran's after it. It's go. Oh, my goodness, Natalia cannoning into the pads. So, oh, there's a knock on, is there not, from Cooper Cronk, a dummy half. That brings a roar of excitement from the New Zealand crowd.
Mark that down. It's a turning point.
Have a look at this. This is Matautia cleaning it up, and then bang.
Isn't that brave?
Yeah, he had one thought in his mind. That was to safely grab hold of the football in difficult circumstances.
If there's a great spot to attack from a scrum, it's from the middle of the field. Here the Kiwis will spread out. They'll get 3 players one side, 3 players the other. And Australia have marked up. They've got 4 defenders on one side and only 2 on the other.
2 plus the halfback, Cooper Cronk, who I'm sure will stay. They got around about 32 metres to work with there, Joey. Around about 32 metres to work with there, Joey. Plenty of room.
Surely the ball goes to Kenny Dow here.
And Johnson's on the open side.
So Brown finding Kenny Dow. And there's the try line and the corner post. So Vatuvei on for Foran. Now Mannering, and Mannering unloading. Keeping it alive for Johnson. Johnson looking, hoping for a hole. Stepping away, stepping back. Still going, and into touch.
Oh, that's a shame.
Good tackle by Michael Jennings. Just for a moment I thought it was going to be a soloist effort by Sean Johnson.
In celebrations in the Australian camp, they realise that they're off the hook. Well, for this set of 6 anyway. Speed off the mark.
It's
quite extraordinary.
Acceleration.
Great work, Michael Jennings. I'm sure the Australians were happy that he was in that position. He's very quick himself. Had to be.
One of those players, Johnson, every time he gets the ball, the whole stadium comes to life. Everyone's on their feet.
Okay, boys, heads in now.
I think that's one of the real reasons he's so tough to handle, Joey. You think something's going to happen. Obviously, the defenders outside him sometimes don't think about the task at hand straight in front of them. They're looking at Johnson, fearing him.
Jennings. The wonderful thing, isn't it, speed? Cordner, 2 of the fastest men in the game. Here's Parker. Here's Parker. Just beyond the 40-metre line. I see the draw for the first round of next year is made available in the last 24 hours or so. And it opens in Brisbane on a Thursday night with Brisbane up against the Rabbits. Parker. I think Manly plays Para on the Friday night. The kick by Cronk. Down towards Hiku. Very good under the high ball. Leaves the ground confidently. And now Vatuvei. And taken by Thaiday. Papali coming over the top. Kenny Dow gets it out to 30. So still the Kiwis by 2. Now a run for Nightingale to the 40-metre line. Under 25 to go. Bromwich, an offload for Taumalolo.
Australia only got 2 defenders now, 3 defenders on their right-hand side.
Here's another kick from Johnson. Another tester for Greg, but he's underneath it perfectly. And now for Mansour. Harris and Proctor. And Isaac is back out there now. Walker can't get away from Mannering. Australia bogging down somewhat inside their 20-metre zone. Thaiday. Now Jackson. And Harris is around the legs. Mannering coming over the top with Isaac Luke to the 40-metre line, and a kick out of dummy half from Cameron Smith. Down to Hiku. Outside 20. Taken by Walker and Thaiday. That's the 30-metre line. So Kenny Dow, a dummy half run of some proportion as well. For him, Vardavay. And the big fella, the beast, struggles his way down towards the 40-metre line. Australia's end. Bromwich, a handoff for Johnson. A big dummy from Johnson. He's away. He's going to score for sure. Johnson scores for New Zealand. And the crowd goes wild. This superstar of the future, maybe the present. He's done it again.
Joey, what about that for a show and go?
Stand and applaud New Zealand. What a superstar. Have a look at him. Gets the ball in space. And then what about the contest one-on-one with Greg Inglis? And then puts the pedal down and burns Inglis on the outside. What a special play. This will look great. He gets the ball here. Nice ball from Bromwich. The show and go. And he gets on the outside there of Boyd Cordner. And then the in and away on Inglis. And just the whole stadium erupts. And why wouldn't they? What a player. This will look great from this angle. Daly Cherry-Evans takes the dummy. And look at that. In and away.
Yep. It's just not the player that's directly in front of him that's responsible, is it? You must, if you're the player on the inside, you've got to slide across to make sure that he can't use that play, the show and go. And it really looked like he was going to sidestep back inside Inglis. He changed his mind, decided to get outside. And nobody does that too easily. Elation in the Kiwi camp, and why shouldn't there be? What a performer.
He is just an extraordinary talent. He's got so much talent. It's a joy to watch him play.
He was always going to be a great player, wasn't he? It was just a matter of when he became, when his confidence, his self-confidence was at a level which everybody else had on him.
When he thinks run, when he gets the ball and thinks run, that's when he's at his best. And we saw there just the acceleration.
He chooses the moment, though, doesn't he, Andrew? I mean, it's all very well to run, but he chooses the moment so beautifully.
Big kick.
This to take them to 8. "20 in from touch. And, oh, he's hit the uprights and it's bounced away. So Australia still a converted try behind. Johnson will be very disappointed with that. It just looked like it was coming back, didn't it? And here we go again. Another look. The vision through the gap, in and away on Greg.
So good.
So Bromwich brings back the kickoff, the kick return. Now for another Melbourne Stormer in Tohu Harris.
Once again, the footwork of Tohu Harris. Extraordinary late footwork in the line.
Blair linking it across to Taumalolo. Now Luke. This is foreign to the halfway line. And the cheer goes out again. Kiwi. Blair on the 40-metre line. So Johnson stepping again, floating it over. Faraway throws a speculator. Knock on is called by the referee. But their confidence is sky high. It mightn't be prudent, but it's Australia knock on first, so the feed goes to the black. Knock on first, so the feed goes to the black and white. So the numbers are starting to fall the other way now.
Ball comes back inside here, and I think Jennings gets his hand to it first. That's a great decision.
Well, this is where communication will play a massive role for the Australians. They've got to be able to talk to each other, inspire each other with the defensive set that they have coming up. The Kiwis, they're quite determined to strike while the iron is hot here.
quarter of the game to go. Nightingale. And now for Bromwich. Big man, but light on his feet. It's through a power of work, Jesse Bromwich. Might be the #1 prop in the game at the moment. Blair. 15 out, centre ground, left side play, and then Foran sweeping. Hiku passing. Vartuvei! He's gone in to score again. Now he holds the record on his own. The beast has brutalised them out there on that left side.
Yeah, great play, Kieran Foran. He gets the ball here, wide pass from dummy half of Isaac Luke, and he gets across field. But the key for this play from Kieran Foran is he straightens the attack, which then gives his fullback Peter Hiku room to move. Look at Manu there. What a crowd pleaser. And then close to the line. You watch Foran gets across the field, but then straightens the attack there, which holds Cooper Cronk. Peter Hiku, beautiful pass, and really, you're never going to stop Manu there. It's the way he straightens the attack here, Foran. See, he straightens the attack and holds Cooper Cronk for that fraction of a second, which then enables Manu to do what he does best, and then just says, get out of my way.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, on the way to the ground, Joey, I think you and I saw thousands and thousands of fallen trees, logs about to be taken out. I think I know how they got rid of them. Knocked them out of the ground.
You think he's a part-time timber cutter, do you? A log man.
Oh, he could knock the biggest one completely out of the dirt.
And
what an entertainer.
How good is that?
Yeah.
I don't know what that quite means. Go back to Warragamba. I don't know anybody on the crew that's from Warragamba. Anyway, whatever pleases them. They are now very much in the ascendancy at 22-12, and the man of the moment from the sideline. Took the steel work earlier. This one. It's done the same thing. The steel work has got in the road. But here's the try, the Harvey Norman replay. And the big fella gets his second. What a moment for poor old Sione Matautia. The beast charging down at you like a wild bull. A runaway train. And Sione, he's yours.
There he goes again. Where would you tackle him?
I don't know. I'm just glad I'm up in the commentary box. Here's Blair. So Bromwich now. 10-point margin. At 16 to go. Tamalolo in away and got it on. Blair gives it out. Mannering gets it away. Kenny Dow striding out. Manu comes on the inside. But Kenny Dow to play the ball. 15 out from the line. Mannering. Foran. Looking for runners.
If they're smart, they'll go back to the left.
So Isaac, he looked there, but he's come open, and then a charge down by Cordner, and he'll clean it up, and basically a surrender. He'll play the ball just outside the 30-metre line. So Mansour off his left flank. His own 40-metre line on your back for his second session. Parker, Cherry Evans, Thaiday. Cronk, Walker, away from one. Mannering's got him, and then Tamalolo. Australia 25 away from the line. Cronk to the 20-metre line. Ball out in front. On the bounce for Jennings. Jennings might have put a foot on the line. He has.
hit here from Greg Inglis. This is tough, isn't he? Straight up the soles.
Is that all you got? And his teammate, they don't hurt each other.
Cameron went for it.
And watch as this play unfolds. Jennings goes out and he throws the ball back in.
Okay, Sean.
He's got a toe on the line.
Toe on the line.
Yeah. So this is Harris now. Taken just inside the 20-metre line. Bromwich. Held by Jackson in 19. Bird around the legs.
He's been strong. Bromwich.
Goal 2.
And got it away for Vardavay. Now for Mannering. And Mannering looking like he might want to unload. Halfway line. Blindside Vardavay. He gets the ball and Johnson gets the ball and you automatically become excited. Taumalolo looking to shovel it, and he does. Out it goes on the bounce for Blair, for Hiku. 27 away. Played back for Isaac. Now for Sean Johnson. Dummy again, got it away. Spiral pass, far away. Nightingale, a little chip into the in goal. Taken by Cameron, and it's going to be a line dropout.
Fantastic play. There's not too much they're doing wrong at the moment, Joey.
Yeah, he didn't panic, did he, Nightingale? Summed it up well. Got the ball looked up, there's 3 defenders. Decided to put the ball on the toe. So he gets the ball here, he just steadies and gets his head up and looks up. And a real smart play there. Just puts it in goal. And they're building pressure, the Kiwis.
Well, I've got to say, it's a little bit tough for the Australians. We're finding a number of their players are being forced to race up out of the line. Easier said than done, but it may be advisable just to give away 2 or 3 metres just to ensure that you've got a straight line of defence. Anybody that provides half an opening for players like Johnson are going to make it fairly difficult for Australia to make.
So Johnson taking a shallow line dropout. It didn't have a lot of volume to it at all. So they're back, as you can see, just outside the 20-metre line. Played there by their fullback. Now Johnson, Bromwich, Harris. And Harris has taken on the 20-metre line. Bromwich again. He wants every piece of it. 10 metres out, right in the middle. Luke goes left side. Picks up Taumalolo, and Clemmer is there to make the tackle for the young giants of the game. Luke again to the middle for Blair, short for Bromwich. And Bromwich just that far from the line. Luke again. Now for Johnson, puts a little kick in, they're looking for another one. Yeah, they got it. Inglis knocks it dead. So they are just winding the screw down.
And he threads the noodle there, Sean Johnson, down the short side. These are the hardest kicks to do close to the line. And you're on a short side because the defenders are close together and the gaps, there's not much gaps between the defenders, but he finds a way through and just builds pressure again for the Kiwis. A player who's causing Australia all sorts of trouble is the young lock, Jason Taumalolo. His acceleration, and you spoke about just his footwork at the line. His footwork at the line.
Here's Vardavay again.
Why would you kick him?
Thaiday went in awkwardly and he's down injured in back play. Sam. Here's Luke. They've got the smell of success. Thaiday in a bit of trouble. Played by Luke for Mannering. Here's Taumalolo. Taken again by Clemmer. 10 metres out.
I'll run it, Sam, for sure here.
And here is Foran away to Mannering, looking out the back to download. There's the line. So Luke, it's been knocked down by the tackler, went back, and Fide finishes up with the ball. Blair just asking a question. He's not well, Samuel. Now Inglis.
Here's the key for the Australians. Inglis, it's the job of the halves that they need to free him up. Get Inglis wide of the ruck and need to bring the Australian fullback into the game.
Here's Clemmer. Bring that left knee up a little bit. Just got a message that Martin Tapau told the doctor he felt pins and needles in his arms. Scans. That's as much information. Scans. That's as much information as we can get on Martin Tapau, who was taken off in the Jordan frame about 2 or 3 minutes into the start of the second half, after he played a major role in the first half.
Here we go again.
Here is Vartavay. He's gone across there to Sean Kenny-Dow. He's over halfway. He breaks away from 2 or 3. Comes again. The same 2 or 3. And they put him down this time. So Bromwich. 10 minutes. Less than that to go. 9 minutes of the Four Nations. 9 minutes of the season remaining. And Blair will play the ball on the 20-metre line. New Zealand 22-12. Lewis Brown almost hopping out of a tackle. And another Australian injured, Corey Parker. Now Johnson. Now Hiku. 3 metres out. 5 gone. And Brown decides to have a go to no avail.
Wait.
Well, it might have seemed the right option to take, Ray, but I'm sure Lewis Brown now won't be forgiving himself. It was about keeping the ball away from the Australians.
So here's Mansour out to his own 20-metre line. But they've really been under a bombardment of attack. They would have to be drained, the Australians. The amount of time they've spent at this end of the park in the second half. Now a penalty goes to them. That'll be a godsend, but there's 10 points in it. Sam has come off. He's succumbed to that injury. And Taumalolo, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, Taumalolo has also been taken from the field or rested. So Australia down New Zealand's end now with Parker bouncing away from Blair, taken by Eastwood around the legs, Harris over the top, and now it's with Greg Bird. Ben Hunt is out there, a dummy half in number 18. Dummies to Smith, goes behind a runner. Cronk, and a ball away there to Papali, I think it is. Seconds ticking away. As Clemmer gets rid of one. Mannering puts him in a bear hug. The ball goes to ground. 5 gone for Australia. Smith now for Inglis. He puts a big kick out in the cross, and now it's gone out by about 5 metres. 20-metre restart. So the crowd figure here tonight, 25,183. So the aggregate crowds for a Four Nations tournament have been basically smashed by that 25,000 in attendance tonight. A tournament that started 3 weeks ago with the New Zealanders showing us that they were going to be very hard to beat, giving Australia an 18-point hiding in Brisbane. And then Samoa was so good. England were defiant. All in all, it has really had a couple of injections of great life over the last 3 weeks with the performance of people like this Johnson, who kicks ahead, but it's marked down there by Jennings, close to his own line. Cherry Evans. 5 minutes to go now. New Zealand have met Australia in 8 major finals since 1988, and they've won 3. Tri-Nations in 05, the Cup in 08, and they won this in 2010. So it bears out what we've been saying, as this kick down the ground might be regathered. It is by Cherry Evans, and then Petahiku drives him into the ground. Hunt to the blind, to Cronk, now for Walker, support, got it away to Matalia, got it back to Cronk, speculated to Hunt, and Hunt dives over to score an Australian try. Will he point to the spot? Yes, he does. Well, just a last-ditch effort. Walker, Matalia, and Hunt. A try for the young Bronco.
Yeah, they kept their vision alive well and truly on this occasion. The Australians decided to go down to the right side, spotted a little bit of a weakness in the Kiwi defence. Keeping it alive needed to be done as well. And once the first break was made, plenty of the Australians volunteered their services to be able to put the ball down over the line. Boy, what a last couple of minutes we've got remaining. 3.5 to go at the moment.
There's a nice flick here from Dylan Walker. Watch this one-arm flick underneath. Oh, he's got him again.
So Matalia,
who threw this last pass? The flick here, is that?
Well, that's Walker. Yeah. And then he...
Well, that's a shoulder charge. It's a straight shoulder charge. I think he was committed to make that tackle one way or another.
So Cameron Smith with this conversion attempt. In, and he's got it. And then he's got it. 22-18. Ben Hunt, the try scorer. He scored on debut in the first 2 minutes of coming onto the ground.
As Cooper Croc throws this last ball, that's a great ball, yeah.
Yeah, it was just out the back. He knew someone was going to be backing up somewhere.
3 minutes, 13 seconds to go. That gives Australia 2 sets of 6.
And now the communication's got to start playing a major role for both teams. For the Kiwis, it will all be about no missed tackles, don't give away any penalties. The Australians have to keep the ball alive.
Parker. Now Mansour. Hunt to dummy half. Bird. Almost to the 40-metre line. Smith across, throwing dummies. Brings Greg Inglis into the play. Gets rid of one. Greg Eastwood, a diving tackle, brings him down. 40 metres out. Greg favouring an ankle. Now it's away to Parker again.
At the moment, I think there's a big high ball coming.
Fema.
That's 75 metres in 5 rucks.
Back right up. Tackle 5. Go.
Just adjusting where he plays the ball. Here's Cherry Evans. And he kicks it down towards Nightingale. And Hiku goes up as well. And it's a penalty, Australia.
Wow, here we go.
Oh boy.
A penalty to the Kangaroos, offside.
I'll give 6 tackles.
So Smith drifting across to Cronk. Now to Papali. 5 out from the line.
Watch Inglis.
There's a minute to go in the game. Smith again. Now for Hunt. Now for Inglis. Gregg taken 7 metres out from the line by Proctor. Smith again back to the middle. The run around on Clemmer. Out it comes to Cronk, and now it's gone to Dylan Walker. He's able to get it away. It's picked up by Cronk. He comes back and around. It's with Parker. He goes back to Jennings. Jennings away from one. Jennings gets the pass away. Is there an overlap? Mataudia for the corner. Does he get it down? No, the referee has called it back. He's going to put a scrum down.
That's it.
The Kiwis are celebrating. Mataudia looks vacantly at the replay, but it's been recalled for a scrum to be put down, indicating it's gone forward. Bentham had no hesitation, walking to the spot and indicating a scrum with 14 seconds to go, and here's the chant.
There's going to be a few players very sore tomorrow. Grabs, neck injuries, shoulder injuries. What a contest it's been. As physical as any game you'll watch.
Listen to this. They're lapping this up. You think over history, this is the 129th Test match. They've won about 30 of them. So the last seconds, it's over. The Four Nations champions are the Kiwis. New Zealand have won their second Four Nations. They won it in 2010. They've won it in 2014. They've gone through unbeaten.